Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. Since the last episode, I have done a little bit of maintenance on the power generation on our Forge world, and I've also set up more solar sail EM rail ejectors on the fourth world in our home planet. Also, as you can see, the Dyson Sphere is starting to take form. There is some of the walls, yes, I'm not sure what they're called. Shells. Some of the shells, I've put them in place so that I have a certain idea about what I'm doing. One thing that I hope they will add to the game is the ability to remove the visibility layers here, because it is kind of annoying to see which of these I don't know what they're called even. The nodes, they have these can I put a node in the middle here? Actually, I could if I wanted to. Yeah, what are these called? I don't even know. Frames? Because it says frames maintains. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But these segments of like walls that connect the triangles in my case here together, when there's this many solar sails in front of them, it is very difficult to see. So you have to move the camera around. But I'm sure they will add something like that. Now, let's add a couple more of these in the completed areas. We're already up to 7 gigawatts from this very incomplete. I don't even know if it's worth calling a sphere at the moment. It's more of a finger trap or something. But yeah, this really does help in terms of power, because I'm definitely not. Well, we're up to 146,795 solar sails as well. But some of those will go to these whatever they're called, shells. So we'll fill in the ones that are finished. So this one, here you see the problem. Like this one, I almost filled that in, but it isn't finished because there are 3 segments there that are not done. We will fill in. Here's one that's complete. This one, and this one, and this one. These ones are not complete, but this one is. This one. I believe you can fill them in even if they're not completed yet. I haven't tried, but I think you can. These 3 appear to be done. Yes, I can. I can remove them as well. So I could just fill them in and let the solar sails go to the sphere. We are reaching the point where the generation capacity of the sphere. Okay, that was a new one. Of the sphere is actually sufficient to cover the demands. This one is done from the ray receivers. My brain really isn't working as it should currently. I'm sorry about that. Probably much to many people's amusement. Yes, Wally, I'm thinking of you. So, okay, I think we filled in the ones that are relevant now. Let's run the game. You can see here the rockets are coming in from the planet. I haven't increased any of that because building more rockets is tedious, to put it mildly. There's a lot of things that have to be built to make more of the rockets. They are expensive to make. Namely, they need the frame, the Dyson Sphere components, which then require the frame materials, but the Dyson Sphere component requires more processors. As you can remember, in the last episode I had built quite a few of those processors, and I do have 2,900 available that are currently unused. So I suppose it would be possible for me to make more of them. They also take deuteron fuel rods. I have available of those as well. But actually, I might be able to add. I do have 250 Dyson Sphere component in excess, and I need 200 to make 10 more carrier rocket assemblers. I do have enough deuteron fuel rods, and I also do have enough quantum chips, so I can add another 100 rocket per minute. You know, that's actually not at all a bad idea. I think I'll do that to make this thing go faster. But for me to do that, I'm going to have to pause the recording when I do that. But I want to do that before we go to the part of the rest of the episode, which is going to be about these, because we're going to start photon generation. We do have much power available. This very good. But having more rockets is definitely a good idea. So please bear with me as I pause the recording, and I shall return as quickly as I have those rockets up and running. You remember from the last episode that was quite the undertaking of building the rocket launchers and stuff like that. So be right back. There we go. Now we're having rockets being sent from both sides of this Ashen Gelisol or Gelisol planet. I didn't make it as elaborate as on the other side. I just put them up in a row and had a belt going around. We're going to have a small race here between the two sides. I should mitigate that right away because this one has too many, so we can take 700 from here and we can put them in here, which also with the ones in transit will ensure that we actually have the rockets. And as proof of concept, production 200 per minute, consumption 200 per minute. So yeah, 200 rockets per minute. That should help. 200 per minute. We're launching 5 per minute. So yeah, we're launching 200 per minute. So that should speed up the process of the sphere. What's going on with this belt here? That's what's going on with this belt here. Okay, well, might as well clean up this mess. Those assemblers that you might have wondered what is about, they were something that I used when I set up things as a marker for which one I had counted for the spreadsheet. So that's why I had some of those around like here. They're not doing anything. They're just telling me that, hello, I have been counted. Okay. I should probably look over this planet and further clean it up. But that's not in the here and now. That's something that I can do in between episodes. Let's head on back into planet number 1. The shell is taking form. And we could go and have a look at it, to be honest. It is quite pretty to look at. How are the... Yeah, the shells, we are up to 7.33. So if we head on over to the shell, it's kind of interesting to watch the solar sails as they enter the nodes. I'm not sure if we can see that here. We can definitely see it here, although there's a lot of rockets going on now. Like here. If there wasn't this blasted ring going on. You can see all these tiny solar sails entering the node there. I don't know if I can get close enough. I can. Let's stop the simulation, the game. And all these blue ones are entering that node. But getting a focus on it, that is rather harsh. You can see them barely. You can see them coming, flowing here and here. They're headed towards that node to fill up the shell here. So, yeah. It is quite pretty. Let's just fill up the other completed shells as well. We should have a couple of them now. This one and this one. And this one and that one. These two. These two. Let's do the lower part first. All of these three. That one. So with the amount of solar sails and rockets I'm producing, I hope that this thing will be done not too far off in the future, actually. Okay, that one was done. This one and this one. These are all done. That's great. There's going to be a massive demand for solar cells to the nodes now. That's good. That's exactly what we want as well. That one is definitely done. I keep forgetting that I can press that button and the game stops. Yeah, I've already added to that one. Okay, so we've added quite a bit of them now. So that's good. Looking interesting. If we go over to... I don't want to warp. If we fly over to that one, you can look at the holes where the solar cell... Oh, here we can see the solar cells. They're coming in very slowly, very gently, and they're entering the node. It is quite cute. And then they're filling up the shells that I have requested. One by one. Yeah. Enough hanging about looking at things. Although I'm not terribly bad at looking at things, I should say. Especially when it's this pretty. There's the planet. Let's warp on over to that planet. And let's make sure we go to the correct pole. Because one of the poles I've already completed the setup of, and I wonder if it's this one. Yes, it's that one. So let's head on down to the down or up. I am not sure. Which pole is this? Is this the North Pole or the South Pole? This is the South Pole, so it was down. Okay, so what we want to do with these is we want, and this is a bit finicky, because of, okay, so that one goes out there. That means we want, why is it on that setting? We want to put a splitter there. This one, we need a splitter there. And then we can add the belts to these, and we want to have the belt going that way. I need to turn off God mode. This is one of the moments where I find God mode to be incredibly not useful. Because even if God mode would be useful in this situation, it's just not useful because the dishes kind of block my view. So it doesn't really help me to have God mode in this situation on. It's more of a detriment than it is a benefit. So they seem to be alternating between left and right. That's good at least, because that means I know where to place them without having to test with a belt. So this will be a bit repetitive, but I think that's fine. I don't think you guys will mind too much. Then that one. And just continue with this. That one was to the left, so with this one has to be to the right. There's not that many of them though, so it shouldn't take all that long. I hope. He said very eagerly. There. I am still very surprised at how polished this game is for an early access release. I mean, yeah, sure, there are things here and there that definitely would benefit from improvements. Particularly quality of life improvements would be nice, but I am thoroughly impressed by this game in terms of how stable and polished it actually is. So that's for sure. Okay, now we want to do the same on the other side. And now this side is much easier because what we can do here is, since they're on the same grid space, we can just place down all of the splitters. I'm not going to attach this to the tower just yet, because this is the graviton lens belt, and that basically doubles the amount of power required by each of these ray receivers when I set them to photon generation. And these are on 100% continuous receiving, so the moment I turn them to photon generation, they use 62.5 megawatts each, which we can happily fulfill. But if I put in a graviton lens here, that doubles. And I cannot fulfill that just yet. So we'll go around, and I wish there was a quicker way of doing this. If I stand in the middle and I move this here, that helped. It's a good thing you can drag things around on the screen here. Okay, so all of them have been set to photon generation. All of them are at 100%. I don't know why that one was at 63 megawatts, because now they're down to 58. Requested power 72.5. Okay. We may be at the... No. Then I don't know. So then we want to add a tower to the pole. And we want this tower to take in graviton lenses and critical photons and warpers. The warpers we set at remote storage and local demand, and we put in some vessels for the thing here. And I think 2400 is what I set the other one to. No, 1600, which should be sufficient actually. It's not that many of them. And then the next part we want to do, you can see the critical photons are now popping on. I don't know how many we're making of them. I don't want the entire star cluster, I want the local planet. Not that that's going to help me that much, but critical photon, we're making 150-ish per second, no, per minute. So that's decent. So 300-ish with the graviton lens. Now this belt I want to go the other way, not for any particular good reason, just because. I mean, do you need any other reason? Before I connect up the that one, let me just do that. Because we want to have a splitter there. And go away. Take that. It's colliding with another object. Okay. Well, we'll do it like this. We go there. We go up. Go down again. Remove. Do this and that. Connect those up. And then put this into the station. And now prioritize this port so that they don't just drive around in a circle, but that they actually go in to the logistics station. I don't see a need to set this to a limit. 10,000 will suffice just nicely. Thank you very much. And we just continue making this ring of belts. It's quick enough anyways, so... But I don't dare add the... Okay, so that one's done. Now we need to set all of these splitters to prioritize the port going towards the receiver dish. That is fairly important. I like that that thing moves around with you. That is very helpful because you always know which port you are prioritizing. And then... Is that too close? Nope. That is actually perfect. Then we do this and we do that. And then we do... this. We do not connect this up yet. I do not dare do that, as I said. That's gonna wreak havoc on our power. But at least we are generating the critical photons, and we should research the controlled annihilation reaction so that we can start producing the whatever those things are called. Annihilation constraint sphere, so that we can make antimatter. I think we can already do that. Photons can be inverted into antimatters and hydrogen under the effect of supermagnetic field. I do not entirely know which this is done in. Right, okay, it's done in the particle collider, of course. And that will give us the artificial star, which, if I add a couple of those to the planet, then I can add the graviton lenses. Of course, finally we need to get the universe matrix, which is going to be a very interesting thing to have. Okay, for now, let's just wait until the research is done, because there's not much else for me to do right now. This one needs to be set to local demand. And the particle colliders, I should probably add those to the home planet. How are we doing on the deuteron fuel rods? Research complete for the annihilation thing. Deuteron fuel rods consumption 400 of 720, so yeah, we're good. I had to add a couple of those on the I think I added 40 or 50 of the inventory. 45 I believe, or maybe 55 of the mini fusion power stations on the ash planet, because there wasn't enough power to power up all the rocket launchers. You've mastered how to constrain the annihilation reaction so that it can produce energy stably. With this technology, we will make antimatter into fuel rods. And on that note, I have to pause the recording and I shall be right back. There we go. My apologies about that. So the graviton lenses have arrived, and we need to research the artificial star. That is going to be crucial, as mentioned. The Dyson Sphere is definitely looking better and better. These things are taking shape. Of course, the solar sails are suffering slightly, but that's fine because the Dyson shell itself is starting to generate enough power that that isn't really a major concern currently. What we could do is add more shells, because several of these have now been completed. So I see no reason why we shouldn't. Not all of them have been completed. There are some left that have not been completed, but we are definitely getting there. So that's good. Adding those additional 100 rockets really did help, didn't it? And that one. And here we have several. This one is not done yet. Will be soon though. This one is done. Currently I think we're losing solar sails because I think all of the no, not all of them apparently, but a lot of them are being dragged into the sphere, into the nodes. You can see the rockets landing in the nodes, you can see the solar sails going into the nodes all over the place now, so wow, okay, yeah, this is starting to look fairly impressive actually. Or more than fairly impressive, it's actually looking really impressive. But enough of that. We apparently completed the artificial star. Didn't get a pop-up for that, or maybe I dismissed it without being aware of it. In that case, I do apologize. So, do we have a power pole? Yeah, we have a power pole there. Yeah, we are using a lot of power, that's for sure. We do have 18 gigajoules of energy accumulated, but I'm not sure I want to rely on that. What we do want to do now is, let's see here. So we are requesting more from the Dyson Sphere than we are generating. That's why these went down. Because they are requesting power from the sphere that the sphere don't currently can supply. Which means that adding graviton lenses wouldn't do anything currently. So what we will do now is go back to the starting world, which seems to be in eclipse. It's always amusing when I try to warp there. We can stop to have a look at these nodes. It is very pretty to watch. And also very impressive. Universe Matrix. You have unlocked the Universe Matrix. It is the ultimate crystallization of the theory of everything and reveals the ultimate mystery of the universe. Well, we all know that is 42, so that shouldn't be too hard. We want to have a look at our power generation here. I think I need to add more of these, because the power generation here, well, as long as those are not running, we are good, but they are not running currently because there are not a very high demand. So I want to place down 60 of these. And here we want to enable the gold mode. So this will be 20. $40. And 60. If I add this... No, I want to add that there. Okay, I need to do it the other way around, apparently. Just going to make it a little bit harder to get it symmetrical. It doesn't matter really which way I do it, because I will have to manually add the sorters anyway. This, of course, is one of the situations where the odd mode is highly useful. And then add sorters between these. Now this might make a dent in our deuterium fuel rod production, since I'm adding this many of them. But that's wrong. We need the power so that I can get the antimatter, so that we can get the other power. Okay, so this one goes there, that one goes there. One more little bit here. How does that affect our deuterium fuel rod production? Not too bad, actually. It's fine. That puts it at 1.6 gigawatts. That should be fine to run more of these particle colliders. So we are going to need to pick up some more sorters. That's the wrong container. Thank you. We are going to need some particle colliders. I don't remember where I put those. Where did I put them? I'm pretty sure I made them automated. That's pumps. That's not particle colliders. I didn't automate them. We will have to pause the game again, but I was certain I automated them. I might be mistaken though, because I certainly can't find them. I may have thought that I'm not going to make that many of them. But it's weird. I could have... Well, there they are. Thank you. How many do I have in these rows? I have 10 on each side. Let's just take 20 and see. I don't know exactly. So, okay, so this takes 60 critical photons per minute. And we are generating what? 150. So I can have 2 of them. Okay, well, that's not much. That's actually disappointingly few. So we are going to take critical photons. There you are. And we are going to take antimatter and hydrogen. I might have to have a logic loop here. Because this hydrogen, I don't expect that this hydrogen is going to be in high demand. Although I have noticed that the game seems to prefer taking stuff that is close by rather than picking up things that is far away. So that's something at least, but yeah, we need a belt going in here. And then based on how these are placed, that's the wrong way. I assume it looks as if I have those on there. So one there and one there. And I suppose I could add another one because why the heck not? We want a power pole. How did I put these? Okay, so these are 5 wide. So power pole there and a power pole there. This does not look correct. Something here looks off. But it isn't. Or is it? I don't know. If I put a power pole there and a power pole there, can I still put a belt here? Ah, I can. Okay, then we're all good. Never mind. You go in there, you go in there. This one goes in there, and this one goes in here. Okay, and I wanted to add one more. Is that correct? Yes. Yes, it is. And we need to change the recipe to mass energy storage. Copy that and paste it into these two. And... oh, sorry. That's not correct. So this one goes to there and this one goes to there. We can remove 2 belt pieces here. I think that's correct. No, it's supposed to be like this, I think. So out, antimatter, out, hydrogen. We do the same here, antimatter and hydrogen, and antimatter and hydrogen. And then in here, in there and in there. And all we need then should be power, which I can add by putting a wireless power tower there. And then, of course, we need to remotely demand the critical photons, which we are going to have an excess of currently, since I've gathered up so many of them. This is something I haven't added to my spreadsheet, so that's something that I should look into getting added to the spreadsheet. Would be nice. It's going to be a little hard to keep track of this, since the critical photon generation is such I wouldn't say unreliable process, but at the same time it isn't exactly what I would call reliable either. So the dishes, we're still not getting enough from the Dyson Sphere, but that I expect to change soon. I mean, the sphere is taking form. But we're losing power due to the solar sail fields being down by 60,000. So we're waiting for the critical photons to arrive. Shouldn't take too long. That is quite the sight. This game just has me wanting to just stand and look at things because it's so beautiful. That took longer than expected, but then again, if I add the filter here, that might help. If I'm... Well... You know, if this belt went the right way, that would certainly do a lot of good. So, that should help. And now the miniature particle colliders are making hydrogen and antimatter. I don't know how this hydrogen is going to be requested. That's something that I'll have to pay attention to. Because if it's being requested poorly, I will have to make a logic gate here. Making a logic gate would actually be useful to do, just so I can show you guys how to do that. But I kind of suspect that when this gets to 800, it's going to be pulled off. At least that's what I'm hoping. But making a logic gate would definitely be useful. Although I think that maybe making a logic gate would be a good tutorial rather than a huge thing to do in an episode. But yeah, we are producing the antimatter, finally. So let's have a look. We should have more or less everything now. What we need to set up is a manufacturing of annihilation constraint spheres. And that means I'm going to need more of those particle containers, but that's not a problem. I have a massive amount of unipolar magnets hanging around, so I can add that on the Forge world without any issue whatsoever. And we also have processors. How much do we have left of processors? Yeah, 2,900. Not a problem whatsoever. I might even be able to up the carrier rockets even more. Let's have a look here. If I took that to 80, no. If I want to do that, I'm going to have to increase frame material to 5. But that's not going to be a problem. So I can actually go to yeah, I can easily go to 300 rockets per minute. Maybe we'll do that in the next episode. We also have the universe matrices, or matrices. Those are, of course, dependent upon the antimatter. So we're going to have to balance the use. Well, this one handily needs hydrogen. And this one produces both of those things. So I can use this tower, and I can go out on the other side, and I can make the antimatter fuel rods there. No, I can't. I would have to add another tower because I would require the annihilation constraint spheres and the titanium alloy. So I would have to make another tower, but I could make that tower at least on this planet and request it elsewhere, because there's the matter of space on the Forge world. There is more space there, but It's nice to have some construction or manufacturing happening down here as well, since we have so much power in excess. Anyhow, I think we have reached the end of this episode, so I hope that you enjoyed the episode. In the next episode, I will most likely have added more stuff to the Dyson Sphere. I expect that the rockets are... I can't see any rockets. Okay, there are still rockets being launched, so it isn't completely done yet. But it's getting there. It's really getting there, so we are actually very close to having a sphere in the system here, which is great. Might want to have this pop up a bit more before I continue adding solar sails to the sphere itself. Then again, I could add more rocket launchers, because I think we have plenty of solar sails in excess. Yeah, I forgot to mention that in between the episodes, I added a couple of assembly lines. I added 2 more circuit board lines, 2 smelting lines for iron, 2 smelting lines for copper, and 1 line for photon combiners. The photon combiners I used to make 2 additional solar sail production lines. So we are producing... Where are they? There. We are... Okay, so we are consuming more than we are producing currently. That doesn't add up with my spreadsheet though. Because according to the spreadsheet, I'm producing 7,200 of them. But you know, see, in 10 minutes it's more on par with one another. If I go to an hour, it's probably very similar. The consumption versus the production here is very likely due to the fact that I'm producing them on one planet and then requesting them on the other. But yeah, enough babbling from me for now. If you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to leave them in the comment section as per usual. And also, I will highly encourage you I will highly encourage you and invite you to come join me and the other gang in the new Discord server. You'll find the link to that in the description as well. Dyson Sphere Program is definitely one of the games that we are talking about there. So yeah. For now, thank you all so much for joining me, and I shall be seeing you all in the next episode.